So I have a confession to make. I lied. I never stop worrying about anything. But it is absolutely true that I love politics, specifically democratic politics. My goal today is to convince you that you should too, that even in the midst of a political climate that may depress and demean and discourage you, that there is still reason to love democracy. Now, when I say I love democracy, I don't mean that I love the current American political system, in which power is concentrated in the hands of a few and elections are decided by a small minority of eligible voters. When I say I love democracy, I mean that I love that process by which people with fundamentally different experiences of the world come together to make decisions, to argue. Now, I have to tell you, the fact that we even attempt to do that in a way that avoids violence is a daily miracle, and one that deserves our respect and our energy, and yes, our love. Because politics matters. Political decisions have deep and lasting consequences for how we exist in this world. They affect the quality of the water that you drink every day, how safe you feel walking to and from your classes, and how much loan debt you'll probably have when you get out of here. The idea that we're somehow immune to the effects of politics is, frankly, a form of privilege, enjoyed only by those whose lives fit easily within the current system, or those who have enough power and money to exempt themselves from the rules that govern the rest of us. I once saw a sign at a Pride festival that said, "My life is political." And the woman who carried that sign was exactly right. Those who are marginalized and most vulnerable do not have the luxury to pretend that decisions made in Washington, D.C., or down the road at the Delaware County Commissioner's office don't matter, because they do. They set the parameters within which we live our daily lives, and they make the dreams of some far more difficult to attain. I can see you thinking, okay, Biser, so politics matters, but I don't have to love it. Politicians lie and cheat, and haven't you ever seen the House of Cards? Politics is a messy affair, but that messiness is not actually a sign of dysfunction. It is the part of the design of a system of government that aims to rule with the consent of the people. Politics exists because people with vastly different experiences have to find some way to coexist. What John Stuart Mill called the collision of adverse opinions is not a sign of democracy's death, but of its life. Our job as citizens is not to eliminate conflict, but to find ways of engaging more deeply with those who look upon the world from different vantage points. This is no easy task, especially in a country where the experiences of one person can differ so dramatically from those of another. It demands that we seek out factual information, that we remain open to criticism, and that we persist in the face of frequent failure. The questions of how to protect our future and face up to our past have no simple answers. To love politics, then, is to love tedious, contentious, and often painful work. The ancient Greeks, from whom we derive the very word politics, knew this. They knew that individuals make bad decisions, that democracies fail, and empires fall. But they also knew the joy of political action. They knew that satisfaction that comes from working with your peers toward a common goal, and the beauty of what Hannah Arendt has called action in concert. Today's political scientists know that authoritarian regimes thrive when citizens withdraw from public affairs. So even if you can't bring yourself to love politics, as I honestly do, I hope that you can see that the solution to our political ills is not to withdraw, but to engage.